It's time for an Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast. And this time around, we'll be talking with the voice of the Newton Cardinals, Randy Van, because tonight is their opening game of the season as they take on Carlisle. It's going to be an exciting contest, and I think you'll enjoy Randy's perspective on the big game and the season for the Newton Cardinals. He's been doing play-by-play for the Newton Cardinals for many, many years, and he has some interesting insight for you, so get ready for that podcast. First of all, a word from our sponsors, including Park Center, Wesley Life Community, and just a couple of days ago on the 26th, it was National Dog Day, and on their Facebook page, Park Center has some neat pictures you might want to check out. It's possible that the only thing that their team members enjoy more than spending time with their residents is being with their furry friends at home. And when you check out the pictures, you'll see that those lovable dogs belong to their incredible team members who serve their residents each day. Whether they're greeting them with wagging tails after work or keeping them company on walks, these furry companions remind them of all the joy, loyalty, and unconditional love that make every day better. And on their Facebook page, they encourage you to swipe through to meet the dogs behind the dedicated staff who help make the community such a special place. And they are adorable. I'm seeing some really cute pictures of the team members' dogs. They have 37 pictures, so you might want to check that out if you're a Facebook member. But Park Center, a great place, and as I mentioned so many times before, Park Center was a great place for my sister to live the last 5 years of her life. They took great care of her. Hospice care was wonderful. Dr. Edwards, Anna, and Jason did a great job taking care of her. And they have grief support, too, at Wesley Life Park Center. So check it out. Get a hold of Lisa Zylstra at 515-791-5000 if you want to know about Wesley Life Park Center. And don't forget Wesley Life at home, too, on the square. This would be on the east side of the square in downtown Newton. Another great sponsor is Junie B's Food Truck. They are open today from 11 till 2 for lunch. I tried their flatbread pizza. Man, they have lots and lots of mozzarella on those flatbread pizzas. Try their smash burgers that they have or their chicken tenders. I've tried those too, and they are absolutely yummy. That's Junie B's Eats and Treats Food Truck. You can find it conveniently located on 1st Avenue East, right next to Casey's General Store and O'Reilly's Auto Parts, or give them a call at 641-521-0914. Junie B's Eats and Treats Food Truck. Another great sponsor, Ryan's Tire and Auto. And, of course, Ryan's wife, Shannon Dannon, runs Junie B's food truck, too. Ryan's is a great sponsor and also a great community giver, too. One of the things I like about Ryan's is they are always willing to donate to great causes. And this time around, they're donating to Newton Chamber of Commerce and Newton Main Street for their big activities that they have coming up, too. You might want to check that out, Ryan's Tire and Auto, on their Facebook page. They are donating to the Red and Black Block Party that is coming up, and the folks there are thanking Ryan on Facebook. They say your support helped bring this incredible event to life in our community and made it an unforgettable experience for them all. They say they truly couldn't have done it without you. And so thank you, Ryan, and the crew at Ryan's Tire and Auto for being such a vital part of this celebration. And again, always giving to great causes, too. And, of course, great car care. Boy, I'll tell you, so many times they've made sure that my car can get from point A to point B and back. I drive to and from the WHO studios every day, and they make sure my Hyundai Elantra can get there. I have a Chrysler Town and Country van that they also keep in great shape, too. Ryan's Tire and Auto on 1st Avenue, Newton, do a great job. Another fine sponsor is Newton Clinic. Back to school season means exposure to a whole new round of germs. A few sniffles the first few weeks are normal, but if you're concerned that it might be more than just a cold, the folks at Newton Clinic are here just for you. They invite you to come see them or give them a call or text at 641-792-2112. That's 641-792-2112. New classrooms, new germs. Back to school season means exposure to some new germs, and they are there to help out. And I want to send best wishes to my doctor, Dr. Dwayne Jolvet, who will be retiring in November. And if you're looking for a new provider, they have a plethora of great physicians that'll be willing to help you out at Newton Clinic. Again, give them a call or text at 641-792-2112 at Newton Clinic. Other fine sponsors include Grinnell Hy-Vee and Advantage Credit Union.
You can't miss this 3-day sale at your Grinnell Hy-Vee. It's a 99-cent sale. Check out these meat 99-cent deals. Hy-Vee Midwest pork chops, just 99 cents. Chicken griller patties, just 99 cents. Our special recipe bratwurst links or patties, just 99 cents. Hy-Vee fresh drumsticks or thighs, just 99 cents. Whole fresh chicken fryers, just 99 cents a pound. Check out these other 99-cent deals. Dole shredded lettuce, 99 cents. Gatorade sports drinks, 99 cents. Hy-Vee biscuits, just 99 cents. Green peppers, just 99 cents. Bar S hot dogs, just 99 cents. Hy-Vee 2 liters, just 99 cents. You can't miss this 99-cent sale this weekend at your Grinnell Hy-Vee.
Let us pay you for checking with us. Hi, this is Leslie with Advantage Credit Union, inviting you to take advantage of Cha-Ching Rewards checking. Earn 3% APY on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $25 per month that ACU pays you. No minimum balance, no monthly fees. Simply do the things you're already doing and cash in at the credit union. Apply online at acuiowa.org or visit us in downtown Newton.
APY is annual percentage yield. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by the NCUA.
It's time for an Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast, and this time around, we will be talking to the voice of the Newton Cardinals, the play-by-play man himself, Randy Van, the newsman. You can call him Boogs because when he played football for the Pella High Little Dutch, why, by golly, that was his nickname. 1982, had his boogie shoes on, and he was quite a player for him. And Randy, I know it's going to be kind of a change for the Newton Cardinals. Let's start with a big picture. Newton had a terrific season last year, but the Cardinals have lost some very important players. So my question is, first of all, how different does this year's team look compared to last year's semifinal team?
Not a lot different. It's still got very big play capabilities. Still got Isaiah Hansen. Of course, he's going to Iowa State. He'll be a focal point. Josh Lampe, the new quarterback, he's a junior. He played great on the defensive side last year as a defensive back. Very good athlete and very smart. And Coach Sweden-Jones says, they don't want to compare him to Caden Klein, but he has a lot of the same qualities, just not quite all the experience, of course, as a quarterback. But if anyone went to the scrimmage against Des Moines Christian, he threw some very good balls, some long balls, and Coach Sweden-Jones thinks probably that's what defenses are going to try and do, make them throw the ball. So that looked pretty good in that category. Quan Coley's back this year too. He had a good season. He didn't quite get as many carries as Isaiah Hansen did last year, but he still has good speed and good moves. So offensively, they're going to be all right. Defensively, still pretty solid defense. Probably not as good as last year. They got some new players, but they look pretty comparable. And it's going to be a little tough go. The one thing that a lot of these players don't have is experience. They got the talent, but experience is lacking in some spots. But good athletes out there, and they play hard, and they're well coached, obviously. Andy does a great job with them. So should be a good season. It's going to be hard right out of the gate, playing Carlisle this Friday. And Carlisle is a team that has pretty much all their offensive players back from last year. And they only went 4-5 last year, but they played in a pretty tough conference. So going to be a good game to test them right out of the gate.
You betcha. Randy, the biggest question, and you kind of touched on it a little bit already, for many Cardinal fans is the quarterback position. And what have you seen from junior Josh Lampe during the preseason that gives you confidence on how he can handle that position?
Well, like I said, at the scrimmage, he threw some very nice balls, long balls down the field. I had a chance to talk to him as well, and he's kind of mild-mannered, but a lot of times you can lead by example that way. He's got good speed. He can run the ball as well, and Coach Sweden-Jones has a lot of confidence in him, and that says a lot right there.
Okay, moving along, Josh played quarterback as a freshman, but spent last season primarily on defense. How much does that previous experience help him out now?
Well, I mean, when you're anytime you're on the field, whether offense or defense, and they had a lot of tight games last year. Some were blowouts, but some of them were tight, and so you get that experience again of playing, and where you keep moments of the game and you rise to them and make good plays. They played, of course, North Polk very close first game, even when Caden Klein, their quarterback, couldn't hardly run at all because he was really had a bad leg in that game, and they almost won that one on the road. So. He's played a lot of football, maybe not a quarterback, but on the defensive side, he's always been a great player. And so I think he'll do fine.
All right. Also, Randy, I wanted to ask you about the biggest difference you noticed in Lampy's game compared to where he was a couple years ago. Can you compare that?
Well, obviously, playing defense, they don't stand out quite as much a year ago. But if you're talking freshman,
yeah, that's pretty much what I meant.
There you go, freshman. I didn't see him a lot as a freshman, but he's been coached by the same quarterback coach that Caden Klein used. Very accurate, probably more accurate, of course, as a freshman as you would expect a junior to be. And like I said, with 2 more years, he'll have more grasp of the offense. Newton does run a lot of plays. They'll even add plays during the week, depending on the opponent, what have you. So. I'm sure his mental capacity is a lot better than it was as a freshman as well, just by natural growth and maturity.
You bet. All right. Now, as far as change is concerned, when you lose an experienced quarterback, how much does that change affect the offense, particularly earlier in the season?
Well, I guess we'll find out. But no, I mean, obviously, experience is something that is very valuable. Like I said, Josh has played before, and I'm sure Andy is going to lay out a playbook for him that is not too complicated. But it'd be nice if he had another year under his belt, definitely. But that's just not the way it is this year. So I'm sure he'll adapt and do his very best. But like I said, experience does account for something. But if you got good athletes around, he doesn't have to do it all by himself. He's got some good athletes around. Nick Milburn's going to play on offense this year. And how would you like to try and tackle that big Nick boy coming at you, running down, taking a handoff from Josh and trying to tackle him yourself? That's not a sight you want to really see coming at you full bore. He's got a lot of help.
He's a big man, that's for sure. Now, what are some of the other players you've seen emerge during the off season who could surprise Newton Cardinal fans?
Well, I mean, Chanteau, he played good last year on defense. He's going to get a chance to run wide receiver spots. Drew Bauer should really step up this year, kind of overshadowed by Finn Martin last year at the wide receiver spot. He's going to really have his chance to shine as a senior year at a wide receiver. So Quan Coley, as I mentioned earlier, he'll probably get a little more offensive showing, because last year you had Isaiah Hansen and Caden Klein running the ball. I don't think you'll see Josh Lampy run the ball as much as Caden, but he can still do it if he wants. But that should open up a little more opportunity for Quan Coley. So, Reagan Mackey, I think you'll see some more on the defensive side out of him. Nick Milburn, we're all looking to see what he can do now that he's moved over to the offensive side. We all know he's just a one-man wrecking crew on the defense. So looking forward to see what he does on the offensive side of the ball.
Okay. Now, as far as which position group concerns you the most right now because of the players that Newton has lost, Randy?
I would suppose probably maybe the offensive line. They had one player coming back there, I believe. And Coach Swedenjelm has grown the program to the point, though, where only Nick, since he's going to play offense and defense, is going to be a two-way player, and Malachi Mosley on the offensive and defensive line. So in years past, they've had a few more players, especially on the line, go both ways. So that's going to help them. They have another player, first name Batu is his last name. I can't think of his first name right now on the spot, but he played a lot last year, so he'll be in the line as well. But that's the spot where it's a key for any team. No matter how good your athletes are, you still got to have some room for them to operate. So that'll be a key, and not a whole lot of experience there, but Coach Swedenjelm is very, very keen on them and thinks they'll do a good job.
Right. Now, on the other hand, which position group might actually be better than people would expect, Randy?
Better than people would expect. I'll say the defensive backfield with Alameen Shanto having another year. Josh Lampe will be back there. Reagan Mackey, as I mentioned before. I think the secondary is going to be pretty strong, and I don't think you'll see too many wide open receivers. We had a few spots last year where I think there were some that kind of got open, but I think that's going to be one of the strengths of the team this year.
Righty, and I wanted to talk about last year's team. They had some tremendous playmakers. Now, do you see this year's team having different offensive identity, Randy?
I wouldn't say a different offensive identity. They still have, as they showed against Des Moines Christian, they can score, anywhere on the field because they just got that speed and they got athletes, and when you can get them out in space, they just do a good job. So I don't think you'll see much different offensively. I mean, they're not going to just hand the ball off and try and run right up the middle and pound you, and they never did that last year either. And they'll kind of throw when they have to and mix some throws in, to kind of keep the defense off guard. But I think you're going to see, Andy has a system, and I think he's got the players he feels that can, in this program, that continue to use that system year in and year out. So
I'm going to kind of go off my list that I have of questions, and I have some more, but we'll go back to them here in just a moment. But you're bringing up Coach Swede a little bit. What is it that makes him so special? It seems like the players really like him, the community likes him. Besides the fact that he's a winning coach, everybody likes a winner, but Coach Swede seems to really be loved. People just seem to really embrace him.
I'd say he's genuine. What you see is what you get. He's very community-minded, like you said. Talks to everybody the same way, no matter who you are, and likes to, give life lessons to these kids. And he's just very respectful, and he's very enthusiastic about the program, and he's not afraid to, go out there and work to make the program what he wants it to be. And he's got some great coaches around him as well. So he's just, a dedicated, kind, and caring person who, likes to, motivate people to do the best they can.
Okay, I'm going back to my questions now, Randy. Right. Here we go.
Back to the list.
Now let's talk about the defense. Now Newton loses some talent there as well. Who are the players you expect to become the leaders on this year's defense?
Well, of course, you'll have Nick Milburn. He'll be one of the defensive leaders. I mentioned some of them already. Alameen Shanto, I think, will be a good player defensively. Reagan Mackey. I'm sure I'm missing some right off the top of my head. Drew Bauer, I think, will play a little bit on the defense as well. And Josh Lampe, I think I mentioned him too. They all should do pretty well.
Also, from what you've seen in practice, and I'm wondering, what is the personality of this year's Cardinal team? I guess it's a two-part question. And what is a team that, is it a team that's confident, hungry, and is still trying to find its identity?
I wouldn't say it's a team that's trying to find its identity. I don't think any Andy Swedenjelm coach team is lacking any identity to this point in the program. It is a team that is hungry, I think. They want to do a little bit better than what they did last year, or finish maybe, not do better, but finish what the team started last year and go that one extra step to get to that championship game. The Dome is definitely, they want to do that. The only thing is, a little experience in some of the key spots that they're going to have to overcome. And as with any school our size in the class we're playing, you have a key injury along the way, and that can, do a lot to derail your season or make your season not quite as what you expected it to be. But as far as the kids are concerned, they're confident, and I think any Swedenjelm coach team would be confident, and they got talent, they know it, and now they just have to go out and perform and learn as they go and see what happens.
So Newton opens at Carlisle, and that's certainly not an easy place to start. What makes Carlisle such a difficult opponent, Randy?
Usually they like to put the hands in some pretty big backs, and they'll just like run it right at you. And that anytime you have a big ball carrier and a big offensive line, it's hard to stop some of those things just right up the middle. So that is one thing that is always made Carlisle pretty tough. They're well coached. They got a good coach up in Carlisle, and those kids have had success in the past too. Now, that being said, Newton has knocked them off a couple times straight, including I know at least one of them was a playoff loss at Carlisle. Mm-hmm. So they are going to be hungry. This is a veteran team that Carlisle's has this year. They played a lot of their offensive, I think I mentioned earlier in our interview that a lot of their offensive players played as juniors last year. Mm-hmm. So they got a ton of experience. They know what it's like. And they want to start off the season at home with a win over a team that, has knocked them out of the playoffs and beat them at home before. So they're going to be highly motivated. So Newton's going to have to play a good game right at the top, and hopefully no turnovers. That's always a big part of any football game. Teams start early in the season. So it's going to be a good challenge.
And also, Newton beat Carlisle 49-42 in that game last year after falling behind early. Do you expect another high-scoring game, or could Friday night look completely different, Randy? Look into your crystal ball for us.
I'm predicting maybe a score. Now, it won't be in the 40s, I don't think. I would say upper 20s, low 30s, possibly. The Newton defense has looked good, but I'm not really sure how I can gauge it against Des Moines Christian. The defense, of course, has played against the Newton offense, and most of the players, as I mentioned, there's only a couple that go two ways. So they've had some good competition to go against. But, when you get in the game and you're at somebody else's stadium and it's the first game and, this is the first time you're really kind of the guy, a lot of things can happen. But I think it'll be a pretty close game again like it was last year.
Yeah, you never know, right? Yeah, exactly. What does Newton have to do defensively to keep Carlisle from controlling the game?
Stop the run up the middle. That's the big one. They put a lot of people in the backfield, and they come at you, right? Usually right off tackle and up the middle. Like I said, they traditionally have had some larger backs, not real speedy ones, kind of like what we have had in the years past. They try and get outside and get into some space. Usually they just try and muscle it downfield and be very physical with you. So, yeah, you got to stop that run right up the middle, off tackle left, off tackle right.
And what is the one matchup on Friday night that you're going to be watching most clearly from the broadcast booth? Is there one in particular that you're going to be focusing on, Randy?
I would say how the Newton offensive line does against the Carlisle defensive line. And if they can allow Quan Coley and Josh Lamping when he decides to run and Isaiah Hansen when they decide to run, if they can get them a little bit of space, especially out on the outside, and use that speed and their shiftability, I'll call it, then it's going to be a long night for Carlisle. But if they can keep them if the defensive ends can kind of keep them in the middle of the field, in between, where all the offensive and defensive linemen are, and won't let them get outside, that might be a little tough for Newton to move the ball consistently down the field.
And Randy, you've watched a lot of Newton Cardinal football over the years. Yeah. What are the early signs during the first quarter that will tell you whether this year's Cardinals are ready to make another run at the playoffs?
Early signs, I suppose, just how they come out of the gate. If they're able to move the ball right away, that's a good sign. And if they struggle right away, how they do later in the game. If they can, kind of get some momentum going and not get down on themselves. So those are going to be a couple keys. If they come out early and able to move the ball down the field and get some points early, that's a very good sign. It'll build their confidence. But then again, on the other side, like I said, if they struggle a little bit, do they get down on themselves and kind of start doubting themselves and start making a few mistakes here and there, like missed blocks or what have you?
He'll be watching for mistakes or lack of mistakes as far as that's concerned. How important is it for a young team like this to get off to a good start on Friday night, especially on the road, Randy?
It's very important, I think, especially with the younger players that are now taking some key roles. Josh Lampy for one, and so it's an important game. But also with Coach Sweeten-Jelm, he'll let them know that hey, it's just one game. We still got a lot left to play for, but it always helps the momentum and the morale of the team if they can come out and get a win.
Also, Randy, I wanted to ask. When you look at the entire Class 4A picture, do you think Newton has enough talent to make another run deep into the playoffs? Because it's a very competitive field.
Yeah, it is. I think so. It might not be at first. I think it's key for them. If they can run off some straight wins and get the ball going and rolling, I think they could make it back to the Dome. If they struggle a little bit, get some south dealt at first, then it might be a little bit tougher. But I'll tell you, they have the talent that they can. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. And finally. Randy, if you're a Cardinal fan listening to this right now, what should you be excited about when you tune in on Friday night to hear the ball game?
Just start of the season. It's just a great time of year. It's been a long off season if you're a football fan, and just that the season's getting underway. And it's too bad that there's only 4 home games, unfortunately, this year with 5 road games. And hard to believe, but I think homecoming is like the first week in September. So that's going to be on us before you know it too. But just that you can get out there and go out to the stadium, and there's nothing like, especially H.A. Lynn. It's a lot of these stadiums nowadays are built on the outskirts of metropolitan areas that we go to. They're nice stadiums, but Newton's got a nice stadium, and it's right in the neighborhood, and it just feels so kind of, it's like friendly confines, if you would.
Friendly confines.
So, and then we got new handicap accessible bleachers on the visitor side. So, no reason people can't come out and support the Cardinals on the 4 games that they have.
Trivia question for you.
Uh-oh.
Do you remember the name for the Newton Cardinals before they were the Cardinals?
Little Washers?
Very good. And the late, great Pop Lynn told me why they are no longer the Little Washers. You might know this story.
Why? No, I guess I don't.
Because when Newton was losing, yes,
I knew I heard it before, but I had a hard time.
Pop Lynn said when we were losing, they'd yell, "You're all washed up! You're all washed up!" So they had to change it. And Pop Lynn was apparently a St. Louis Cardinals fan, so he thought, okay, the Cardinals. So that's how they were. So. One final question, and I know I said we had one final question, but this is the final question of the final question. Is Wally Price going to be back up in the booth with you?
Yes, Wally will be back up in the booth with him. I have it no other way.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say it wouldn't be a Newton Cardinal broadcast without Wally. Randy Van, always a pleasure. Thank you very much, sir. That'll wrap it up for this, and hey, we'll have a video cast, a short cast here with this in just a moment. But you'll want to make sure you check out Randy Van and his play-by-play of the opening game of the season for the Fighting Newton Cardinals. Go Cards, go! You betcha. Love those card kids. And I'm a proud graduate of Newton High School, 1977. Go Cards. Hope for a victory on Friday night against those Carlisle Wildcats. I always thought they were the Carlesians, but I guess not.
No.
Okay, all right. That'll wrap it up for this edition of Out and About with Jamie Grout. Other fine sponsors include Westside Java Coffee Bar, Made Right Sandwich Shop, along with Lynette Baker, Halo Branded Solutions, and Jersey Free Sure to Please in Monroe. Until next time, Grout is out. See ya.